Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 15, Text 25. Translation and commentary by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Rajaha, Tamaha, Cha, Sattvena, Sattvam, Cha, Upashamena, Cha, Etat, Sarvam, Gurau, Bhaktya, Purushaha, Hi, Anjasa, Jayet, Rajastamascha Sattvena, Sattvang Chopashamena Cha, Etat Sarvam Gurau Bhaktya, Purusho Hyanjasa Jayet, Rajastamascha Sattvena, Sattvang Chopashamena Cha, Etat Sarvam Gurau Bhaktya, Purusho Hyanjasa Jayet. Ladies, please. Rajaha, Tamaha, the modes of passion and ignorance. Cha, and Sattvena, by developing the mode of goodness. Sattvam, the mode of goodness. Cha, also. Upashamena, by giving up attachment. Cha, and Etat, these. Sarvam, all. Gurau, unto the spiritual master. Bhaktya, by rendering service in devotion. Purushaha, a person. He, indeed. Anjasa, easily. Jayet, can conquer. One must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness, and then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Shuddha Sattva. All this can be automatically done if one engages in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. In this way, one can conquer the influence of the modes of nature. Purport: just by treating the root cause of an ailment, one can conquer all bodily pains and sufferings. Similarly, if one is devoted and faithful to the spiritual master, he can conquer the influence of sattva guna, rajoguna, and tamoguna very easily. Yogis and jnanis practice in many ways to conquer the senses, but the bhakta immediately attains the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the mercy of the spiritual master. Yasya prasadad bhagavat prasado. If the spiritual master is favorably inclined, one naturally receives the mercy of the Supreme Lord, and by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, one immediately becomes transcendental, conquering all the influences of sattva guna, rajoguna, and tamoguna within this material world. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. If one is a pure devotee acting under the directions of the Guru, one easily gets the mercy of the Supreme Lord and thus becomes immediately situated on the transcendental platform. This is explained in the next verse. Om ajnanatimmirandhasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurinmilitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha. Nama shreshtam manumapi shachiputram atra swarupam. Rupam tasya grajamurpuring maturim goshtavartim. Radha kundam girivaramaho radhika madhava sham prapto yasya pratita kripaya Shri Gurum tam datosmi. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Ataf Parikamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagarna Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagarna Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Guru Vaishnav Bhagavan Tina Smarani Hoy Vigna Vinashan Anayashi Hoy Nijavanchita Puran. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shortly hereafter, there will be a initiation ceremony. This is part of it. Devotees are going to vow to chant 16 rounds daily and follow the 4 regulated principles. Devotees are working very hard, distributing books, going for chanting the holy names publicly, preaching in various ways, and our aim is to bring people to the level of chanting Hare Krishna 16 rounds, following 4 regulated principles, and getting initiated. Right? Is it? Yes? No? Yes. Surely, it must be, but there's more to it than that. It's not just that. You want to make them pure devotees. We want to make them pure devotees. We can make them. We have technology. We can do it. You do a little psychological adjustment here and there, and we make them pure devotees. Is that what's going on? Well, we want to introduce them to pure devotional service, give them the opportunity to be pure devotees. Srila Prabhupada more than once said that everyone in this movement is a pure devotee. What does that mean? It didn't seem like that always. There are levels of pure devotion. Pure devotion begins with Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana kamadhyana avritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama. Pure devotional service begins with the intention to be a pure devotee, to be free of all desires, both gross and subtle, except the desire to serve Krishna in the way that Krishna wants to be served. And with that intention, we follow the process of devotional service for purification. We just read in the purport here, if one is a pure devotee, acting under the directions of the Guru, one easily gets the mercy of the Supreme Lord. But isn't it, if you get the mercy of the Supreme Lord, you're a pure devotee? So which comes first? Pure devotee here we can understand means acting under the direction of the Guru, means has taken this motto of life to do everything for Krishna's pleasure. Krishnarte akila cheshta. Everything should be done for the pleasure of Krishna. And we have to learn what that is, and learn what Krishna wants, what he doesn't want, and surrender to Krishna, which is, again, surrender is not, pure devotee is not a vague term. Surrender to Krishna, it's not a vague term. Surrender means anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam rakshishititi vishvaso goptritve varanang tata atma nikshepa karpanye shadvidha sharanagati. Surrender, the process of taking shelter of Krishna, doing everything that's favorable for advancing in devotional service, and rejecting everything that is unfavorable. So that means, again, we have to learn what these things are. We may have a general attitude, let me do everything, let me dedicate my life for Krishna. But we have to know what Krishna wants. And then the attitude, Krishna is my maintainer, Krishna is my protector. Let me fully give myself to Krishna in all humility. So all these things have to be learned, but this basic attitude has to be there. That I want to be a pure devotee. It means I don't want anything else in my heart but service to Krishna. Pure devotee. There are different kinds of devotees. There can be pure devotees, that is Kevala Bhakta, nothing else. They have no other goal in life but devotee, but devotional service to Krishna, for Krishna's pleasure. Then there's Kama Mishra Bhakti, performing devotional service, but with some material desire, or being attached to simultaneously attached to the karma kanda system, varnashram, giving unnecessary stress to these things. Jnana Mishra Bhakti, performing devotional service for the sake of impersonal liberation. Yoga Mishra Bhakti, for the sake of performing devotional service with a desire for mystic powers. You can get that. You want mystic powers? You can manifest things just like that. You can fly in the sky without getting an airplane. Mystic power. You can enter people's minds, control their minds. Very tempting, might be. But devotees only want to serve Krishna. There's also Bhakti Mishra Karma. That's very common. That our aim in life is to enjoy this world, and we pray to Krishna, help me to enjoy this world. But we're aiming at Kevala Bhakti, which means no other desire. It's a very elevated aim in this world gone mad. Is the world gone mad? What do you think? It's always mad, but it's more mad. Getting more and more mad. That's as Kali Yuga goes on. That can be expected. But it's really the mercy of Krishna that in this very confused and degraded age, people are still coming forward with this intention to be pure, to be saintly, to be servants of God, to be lovers of God. We can't expect many people to be saints. Saints are not many. Saintly people, sadhu. Sadhu means saintly person. It's easier if we were to promote devotional service mixed a little bit. For instance, it's commonly said that you can make your career your devotional service, which is theoretically possible. But unless one has a very strong motive of wanting to serve Krishna as the only goal of my life, and then what's the best way I can do that? Well, I'll pursue a career. But without explicitly explaining that and see if anyone is actually on that level of being able to do that, if we say your career is your devotional service, then we're going to have people with all their material desires for a so-called good career, and they're also chanting Hare Krishna, but they equate the two things to be the same. My material desire, which is mixed up with serving Krishna, and we take it to be all the same thing. So that can be very dangerous. And you can go on chanting 16 rounds and following 4 regulated principles, and cultivate material desires at the same time, and maybe think it's pure devotional service. And the result is Bahu Janma Kare Jadi Shravan Kirtan Tabu Tanapai Krishna Pade Premadan. We can be doing hearing and chanting about Krishna very enthusiastically for many lives. We don't get love of Krishna because we're not properly focused on what we should be focused, which is pure devotional service. It seems that many devotees, even after taking initiation, they seem to think that 16 rounds and 4 regulated principles, that's it. They don't really get the point. Or they may get the point for some time, and after some time slacken off. Or they haven't really decided that this is what I have to do. This is the goal of my life. They want to be hybrids. Part of the material world and partly devotee and partly normal. Normal means punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Normally, we get born and we die, and then what happens after that? We're born and we die. And what happens after that? We're born and we die. And it goes on and on and on and on. Where's the end? The end is pure devotional service. Half and half. Or 40-60. 30-70. Or maybe even 90-10. 90% into Krishna, but I got a few other things to do also. Or the subjective approach to spiritual life. I feel Krishna in my heart. He talks to me directly. It can be. You have to be very careful about this though. Because if we consult our heart and we think I'm talking directly to God, but within our heart there's lust, greed, anger, envy, illusion, so many things. A few years ago, one new devotee, we're all new devotees, but newer than me, she asked me, well, what do you think I should do? What should I do for my service in my life? I said, you can dedicate your life to Srila Prabhupada's book distribution. And she became very angry. This is going on by email. She told me by email she'd gone in front of Srila Prabhupada's Murti at Bhaktivedanta Manor and asked, what what should I do? And Prabhupada told her, you should kick him, namely me, in the face for telling her to dedicate her life to book distribution, Prabhupada's book distribution. So that's not typical of Srila Prabhupada. Telling to kick in the face is, but not for distributing his books. So this idea that we'll directly link with God, or with Prabhupada for that matter, just whatever I think in my heart and I project it, and then whatever comes up, that's directly spiritual. 4 regulated principles. Actually, there are many more. These are the basic ones. And other rules are important also. Otherwise, we're not going to make proper advancement. I was just told 2 days ago that out of the many devotees in Alachua, only a small percentage follow Ekadashi. Follow Ekadashi means you can take Anukalpa Prasad, no grains, no beans. It's not a difficult thing to do. If you don't do it, you're making a big block in your spiritual life. But most don't follow. It means they don't care. And I can imagine that's quite common, not only in Alachua. It means somewhere along the line, some devotees, or maybe many devotees, or maybe the whole thrust of the whole direction of the movement got lost. Now this Sadhu Sangha festival is coming up in Florida. Maybe they should consider this. It's all very well to get together and chant Hare Krishna and then go to Disneyland, or maybe go to Disneyland before that. It's advertised, right? Close to Disneyland. But, all right, very nice. But what about following Ekadashi, for instance? And if you're not following Ekadashi, it means there are many other things which you're also not going to follow, because I feel for Krishna in my heart. It may be. Yeah, well, if you really feel for him, you do what he said. That's what Srila Prabhupada said. He was asking about the Christians. How the Christian will say, I'm following God. What will you say, Prabhupada said? Srila Prabhupada said, oh, I'm following Jesus, and why don't you follow what he says? So I'm saying this now, it's an initiation ceremony, because you're making the vow, but it's 4 regulated principles, 16 rounds, and the commitment to be fully Krishna conscious. And that's supposed to go on throughout life. We're trying here at this Krishna Life to stick to proper standards. Now, to talk about proper standards and rules isn't liked by a lot of people who like to be spiritual but not religious, or they just like to feel spiritual. This is a big bogus hoax going on. I'm a spiritual person on your own terms and conditions. Spiritual means spirit. Spirit. What does it mean, spirit? First of all, we have to understand what does it mean. Spirit means different to the body. Spirit means we are tiny spiritual beings, and there is the Supreme Spirit, called in English language God, a vague term. We are subordinate. He gives us the program, what to do. In Scripture, we have to follow that. So here at Krishna Life, we want to institute that, knowing that you can't advance in Krishna consciousness without commitment. It's not just to feel. We go to the kirtan, and it's so really good, and I really felt great. And it's almost as good as Disney. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada writes in one purport, to act under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master with a motive to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead is pure devotional service. So that's the beginning. Anyabhilashita shunyam. The beginning is to have that motive. And to do that, one has to act under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master. Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. All these. Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. It's a ceremony which takes a short time. It's a long-term commitment. Chokudana diloje, janme janme prabhu. It may take many lifetimes. We may become impatient and think, well, it's too much to follow this all my life. But it's not supposed to be all our life. It's however many lives it takes, we have to stick to it. It's a gradual process. Krishna Prem. Sadhu bhave bhavet kramaha. Ado shraddha tata sadhu sangha. Atah bhajana kriya. Tato nishta bhajana kriya. Tato narta nivritti sat. Tato nishta ruchistata. Atah saktis tato bhava. Ato prema bhudanchati sadhakanang ayang premna. Pradur bhave bhavet krama. It's a gradual process, beginning with initial faith, associating with devotees, taking up the rules and regulations seriously, becoming free from all the unwanted activities and unwanted things in our hearts, then firm faith, attachment to Krishna, feeling for Krishna and devotional service, then the beginning stage of love of God, then pure love of God. Bhavet krama means it's a gradual process. We require to have patience. We're emphasizing the rules and regulations. And from our perspective, it does seem that someone who's following rules and regulations is advanced because, well, definitely, because they're way ahead of most of the population. If someone is regularly rising early, chanting the holy names of Krishna, following the rules of austerity, no meat, no gambling, all these things, they're definitely advanced relative to the population, what we could call ordinary people. Compared to Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapilo, Manahu, compared to the pure devotees, we may still have a long way to go. It can be, we've seen also, I'm talking about those who, I've been talking about those who lose their way somewhere along the way, or they just don't keep it up. But it can be that someone is externally doing very well, but then suddenly they snap. Seems like suddenly they snap. It's something like wood with the termites inside. From outside it looks strong, but it's getting eaten up inside. So they're following everything, but inside there are offenses, envy, cultivating material desires. There may be severe anarthas within the heart which they're not addressing. And just thinking it's okay to leave it. So we've seen many times, it seems someone's a very advanced devotee, then they just snap, go away. So be careful. It may be that we're also doing very well in devotional service, seems to be very enthusiastic, everything. but it may be for a completely different reason altogether. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, there was one man came to join the Mutt, and though he was well educated, he was given the service of scrubbing the pots clean. And he did it with very hard work, scrubbing, made them all spick and span very clean. And I was saying, oh, he's very sincere, he's working, putting so much energy, working hard. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, we'll see. After some days, his wife came and took him away. He just left. He'd had an argument with his wife, and he wanted to show her that I don't need you. But he was just waiting. It was a game of chicken. He was waiting for her to come and get him. So, or whether he would go first or she would come. So she came and he left. He was so sincerely cleaning the pots. Now you're getting initiated, many of you are initiated. There may come a time when you feel that it's a bit intense. I have to step back a bit. Can't keep it up at this pace. Or maybe I've had enough. One of my godbrothers, he was in Mayapur, learned Bengali. Then he decided to go for Raga Anuga Bhakti with Babaji, thinking that, we're just doing basic stuff here. So he went off, became a Babaji for some time. Then he came back and joined us in Bangladesh. We just had a few devotees there at that time. And then after some, he was with us, he spoke Bengali fluently, played mridanga brilliantly, led a great kirtan. After some, he said, well, I think I've had enough Krishna consciousness for this lifetime. And went back to New York City and never saw or heard of him since. Don't know whether he's alive or what. So it may be you just think that had enough for this lifetime. Anyway, I'll get another chance in another lifetime. Very dangerous to think like that. If we think, let me practice now, well, I don't think I'm going to make it, maybe next lifetime. And next lifetime comes, and if we do get the opportunity to be in association with devotees, which we may not, it's not guaranteed, then again we think, well, next lifetime. And it goes on like that. And on, and on, and on. So you may want to step back at some point, or slacken off, but keep on going. I can just advise, keep on going. What's the great secret, Bhrigupati Prabhu, of continuing distributing books day after day? What is it? You get up in the what is the secret? You get up in the morning, go to the morning program, go on books. And the next day, you get up in the morning, go to the morning program, go on books. And then after that, you just keep on going, right? You just don't think of anything else. I don't have anything else to do in this life. Just keep on going. Consider there's a reason that you, among all the unlimited spirit souls in the universe, you are one of the very few fortunate ones who are brought to Krishna consciousness. You won't be the loser for sticking with it. There will be difficulty. We're not going to say, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Yes, definitely. But there will be difficulties. And we heard yesterday that even Krishna may give us difficulties. We may think, well, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, why have I got a backache? Or why is the tax man after me? Oh, there's so many difficulties in this world. We think that, well, Krishna should just take all my problems away. He is, but he might give us a little vaccination on the way. There will be difficulties. We won't be the loser for sticking with it. Partha naivehana mudra vinashas tasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschid durgating tata gacchati. Krishna told Arjuna, You're engaged in auspicious activities, you won't be destroyed, either in this world or in the next. One who gets on the path of auspiciousness never attains a bad destination. So we should know for sure. We won't be the loser for sticking to the path. By great good fortune, by great mercy, we've been brought to the path. And we've chosen to come to it seriously. Initiation means serious. We won't be the loser for sticking to it. We may think that, well, there are many other things to do in the world. Let's check it out. I didn't do everything yet. You did do everything, many, many times. We've done it all. Whatever it is, we've done it. How many lifetimes have we taken birth? How many bodies? We've done it all. Chanakya says, he who gives up that which is imperishable for that which is perishable loses that which is imperishable, and definitely you're going to lose the perishable also, because it's perishable. So it doesn't make sense, having come to this, to go off. Stick to it. Now sometimes we see devotees, they go away, they get into a lot of maya, they get smashed around by maya, they come back. That's called the dark night of the soul. I believe that's from one of the Christian saints had this. They call it the dark night of the soul. Where you, even if you don't go away, you go through a period of a lot of doubt and mental turmoil and struggling to stay on the path. You may think, I need one more bout of that. And it may be that someone who's fallen today could be a great saint tomorrow, and vice versa. Someone who's doing very well today, they could be in a complete mess tomorrow. But don't think, well, okay, I need to get this out of my system. I need to go off and break some principles and then get it out of my system, then I can come back. But once you go down, there's no guarantee you're going to come up. It's not that, oh, okay, I'll just go off to Las Vegas and do the kind of things that people do in Las Vegas. And, after some time I'll just come back. But Maya catches us. There's no guarantee. So we have to surrender to Krishna under the guidance of a guru. Guru means helps to guide us. We have to choose to follow or not. There's so many questions and so many confusions. Kali Yuga means the age of quarrel, hypocrisy, confusion. There are so many things to confuse us. In the big bad world around us, there are so many controversies going on. So many people are pitted against each other. One side against another, MAGA against woke, and all kinds of things. Vegan against meat eater, so many things. And within our society, with our own little pond also, we have so many things. Guru issues, poison issues, should you eat chocolate or not? So many things. Child abuse issues. And then devotees in Ukraine, many of them may not like the Russian devotees, and vice versa. What should you think about all these things? What about this poison issue? Then you have to investigate it fully yourself. And any of these issues, you could spend a whole lifetime just trying to investigate all the. Actually, you don't need to, because it's the idea that Srila Prabhupada is poisoned with cadmium. Who ever heard of cadmium poisoning? It's a bizarre idea, and that some Prabhupada's disciples who are busy with him for years and years, all of a sudden they become expert in toxicology. Anyway, but it's being promoted. What do they call that? Gaslighting. I'm getting every day in my mail. You all getting that? Someone giving evidence. So, what do? Yeah, you could really get your spiritual life messed up by getting into even one of these controversies, what to speak of them. Now, I get involved in controversies, as you may know. But it's not that you all have to get into so many things, but just with a few words you can understand the issues. And don't get into it all, but I'm just saying that's one reason why having a guru is very helpful, to guide you through these controversies. But it's not that you have to know everything inside out, upside down, back to front, because again you'll waste your life. You can ask the guru, well, what about this? And he'll tell you, and then he may tell you, just don't bother your head with it, because whether this happened or that happened, you have to chant Hare Krishna. You have to purify your heart. You have to follow the process. It's another trick of Maya to take us away. By taking our mind away from our real goal of life. Srila Prabhupada wrote in one letter that he says there's symptoms of devotees, they're missing the point. The point is to become mad after Krishna. Love of Krishna. We can get caught up in so many things. So there's a few points on that. It's a big, big topic. A little bit about chanting, because initiation into chanting the holy names of Krishna. I just heard this recently in Mayapur. Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu, who you may know, some of you may know. He told me that he spoke to, this was some years ago, because the devotee who told him this has since passed away. He was elderly at the time. The devotee was a disciple of Bhaktidayata Madhav Maharaj. He told Vidwan Gauranga Prabhu that he would sometimes associate with Srila Prabhupada, come to him for advice. And Srila Prabhupada told him, because he was very busy, he was a very busy devotee, doing a lot of services. So Srila Prabhupada told him that you're busy in so many services, but you should know that's very good, that will help you very much, but you should know that what's really going to save you is the holy name of Krishna. And he used this same words that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had said in this regard, that the performing various services, that is upakaraka, that will benefit us. And the holy name is udharaka, will uplift us. So service, so many services to do. But always remember, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalo nastreva, nastreva, nastreva gatiranyata. Nothing but the holy name. Holy name is the essence. Holy name, in this form, Krishna has very kindly come. In this Kali Yuga, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated that by personally chanting, dancing. Srila Prabhupada said that our chanting Hare Krishna should be like the child calling for the mother. The child calls out for the helplessly. But when the child gets a little older, it should also start to serve the mother, isn't it? In the beginning, helpless. The baby is helplessly calling for the mother. But when the child gets a little older, then serves the mother also. So service attitude is required. And when we're chanting, what are we doing? We're praying to Krishna. Oh Krishna, oh energy of Krishna, please engage me in your service. So the two things are inseparable. Service and chanting. And sometimes Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, well, not sometimes, all the time he would engage his disciples, kept them so busy. There's another anecdote that he would insist you have to chant 64 rounds a day. And then one of his disciples said that, well, I don't see anyone among your disciples. They're all so busy, they're not chanting 64 rounds. I don't see. And Saraswati Thakur said, you don't see, I see. I was thinking, well, I know, I saw this devotee all day, he's not chanting 64 rounds. They didn't have it, they still don't have a japa period in any of them. Maybe some of them adopted it from ISKCON, but they don't have a japa, they never had. In time Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati also. You have to chant your rounds, you have to find time to do it, but otherwise they're busy all day, from early morning. So, you don't see, but I see. And then later, after Saraswati Thakur passed away, he understood the full engagement in service, that is the very point of chanting. So that's chanting also. There are others like, I was saying about Madhav Maharaj. He would often be out for a full day, busy, preaching, working hard. Then he'd come back at night and he would stand up, so he didn't nod off. He would stand up, because he's very tall, under a big mosquito net, and chant till late at night. He would finish chanting those rounds. So dedication to the holy name and to service, both things must be there. In the beginning, we're calling out to Krishna. Krishna, just like the child is calling out to the mother, help me, help me. So it may be in the beginning, we come to Krishna consciousness, we're just distressed. I can't take this world anymore. God give me shelter. We may come to, so in the beginning, calling out of distress is not out of love exactly, but it's just calling for help. But then later, the service attitude should develop. That not just you come and help me, but I have some service to do for you. Otherwise, chanting, but it's always thinking, what will Krishna do for me? But Krishna also wants to see that we're doing service for him. If we can chant purely, that's pure devotional service. Kobe hobe bolo shede nama, amar aparad haguchi, shuddha name ruchi, kripa bale hobe hridaye sancha. We're praying to chant purely. In the meantime, we're going on in the namabha stage to a large extent. We're not deliberately cultivating offenses, I hope. We're aiming for pure devotion, but there are dirty things in the heart. It takes time to cleanse, gradual process. But we shouldn't think that our chanting at the level of namabhas is normal or acceptable, and that's it. But always remember, Shuddha Name Ruchi, we're looking for taste for chanting the holy names purely. And Kripa Bale Hobe Hridaye Sancha, we have to pray for mercy because we have to follow rules, but it's not by our own effort that we're going to make it. We're always looking for mercy. Few thoughts. There's much, much more to say. Always. Never ending, and so many things to say.